Spring has sprung.
Has it? In your pants, maybe. Not sure.
Also?
LA market.
Also,
Also? Oh, that's a putter. You always keep a golf club with you, don't you? Spring is upon us, which is the time for listing homes. Arguably the best time in, I don't know, planet Earth to list homes. Certainly in Los Angeles. The flowers are blooming. The birds are chirping. Ben is sitting next to his girlfriend outside at his new favorite restaurant. Was I not supposed to reveal that?
no, but I like the imagery.
Yeah. And people are coming out finally from
Can't tell
their
you
bear
anything.
caves in Los Angeles after they have braved the freezing cold winters in the low to mid 60s.
Ooh, cold.
And they're ready to sell. They list their houses in droves.
Droves.
Except for this year. This is different, and this is not good. This year is like a ghost town. This actually reminds me a little bit of episode 3, season 1 of The Last of Us.
Great episode. Weird show.
Strange show. I don't care for a zombie show.
Really weird. It wasn't zombies. It was the shrooms were eating people.
Oh, they were mushrooms. You never actually saw them. They were mushroom heads. Anyway, it is the time, but now feels ghosty.
Okay,
And we're
get
gonna
it.
tell you
hey
why.
guys, I'm Ben Bellac. This is Zach Goldsmith. This week into Live and Buy in Los Angeles, we're going to do a quick housing market update. I promise it's going to be quick. And then we're going to tell you our top 5 locations in Los Angeles right now to find a deal on a house. The seasonal housing inventory bottom evaded us again last week as active listings fell and new listing inventory decreased again. Guys, what that means is as we come out of the holiday season, we see inventory drop. It hits its bottom. Springs. And then we see housing go up as everyone lists for that time of year. But it just keeps getting to new record lows. Mortgage rates didn't move too much last week, but the 10-year yield rose even though inflation data was tamer than expected and we had a weaker retail sales report number. So, want to keep you guys awake here. We just made history as the seasonal inventory bottom has now broken a new record coming in so late into the season, and with mortgage applications, and this is big, just dropping by 10% last week. You'd think we would have growing inventory, but still at all-time lows.
In a world where new inventory reaches all-time lows and mortgage rates remain volatile, the spring selling season has been canceled. And with any luck, Ben's career in front of the camera will soon follow.
You're a not nice person.
You turned me on with all that mortgage talk.
I know,
Sorry.
it does it.
I guess to some of what you're saying, one reason housing inventory has taken so long to hit the bottom, maybe, is the wild mortgage rate volatility in the second half of 2022 and arguably in the first quarter of 2023. People are gun shy listing their homes, and I get it because they have got to jump in to the buyer's pool at the same time, and they could be in the middle of negotiations, and rates can jump 2 to 3%.
Yeah, which is basically like nearly double. And it's like, okay, I'm going to sell my house at hopefully a good number here. And then I'm going to double, my monthly nut's going to go up like crazy. I mean, it just doesn't feel like a sexy time for the sellers that don't need to sell, that want to sell. Okay, so
That was that old ghost town whistle.
It's like tumbleweed blowing through the podcast. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna give you guys some numbers right now, just so you can have some perspective and grasp the difference in the amount of new listings from the past few years over this same week. So in 2021, same week, 67,000 new listings. 2022, 67,500, so about the same. 2023, down to 49,000. Now. Man. Keep that number at the top of your head here at 49,000. If you compare our current new listing data to weekly new listing data in previous years when we had a more normal housing market, 2015, 94,000, 2016, 86,000, 2017, 78,000. I mean, massive difference.
That's a lot of things contribute to that, but the difference is wild, and it kind of makes it difficult to figure out where we're going.
I mean, to me, I think it means no fucking crash.
Definitely.
It is crazy to see that it's crazy to see that the new listing numbers in 2015 they're like double what they are today. I mean, that's a lot of missing housing for people to buy.
Now that we understand what's happening in the market, Playboy, let's localize this. Okay. Let's use the data that we have to give our top 5 picks of best places to buy right now, right here, Los Angeles.
It's weird though. Like, I feel uncomfortable because you're like, the numbers get you like aroused.
No, the numbers get you aroused, and I am just backing you up as your boy.
Okay.
Backing you up as your boy.
Thank you, sir. Coming in at number 5.
Coming in hot.
Number 5.
Coming in hot. I was singing this the whole time. Keep
Oh
going.
my God. Please stop.
Okay, what's 5?
Number 5 is one I've talked about before. The Hollywood Hills.
That's what the kid came out here for.
Currently has 6 months worth of inventory, and we start calling it a buyer's market at 6-7 months. New listings compared to Q1 of 2022 went up a little bit, but I think what's extremely meaningful in telling us where we're going is that year over year, there were 40% less sales completed in 2023 than Q1 of 2022.
Man, it sounds like there's a 40% discount.
It's not a 40% discount.
But it's wild. 40% is drastically reduced from last year.
Here's what I will say. Funny enough, the average price went up by 30%. Now, some things mess with that number, like big sales. They can mess with that. So that's not necessarily a true metric and one we were going to talk about. But I think that what we can see is if sales are down 40% and we're already at 6 months worth of inventory, this same report in Q2 is going to be really interesting. What's number 4?
I find similar numbers in number 4, BHPO. My Hood, Beverly Hills Post Office. Again, the hills. You love to talk about people coming here, moving to the hills, dual income, where that puts them. Those areas
elaborate on that.
Well,
where do the dual income people generally, do you think in LA, generally is their entry threshold? It's like house 2.
Neighborhoods.
No. Before that, at what price right now? Let's say someone, husband and wife, they're living in their, in his or her condo, and now they're about to have a kid. They want to move into a
young LA couple, executive couple. You got to start low after a condo, 8 to 10 million as a starter.
It's very funny. What is it seriously?
Probably 2 to 3.
Okay, I was gonna say higher. I was gonna say like that 7 to 10 year house is $3.5 million in Sherman Oaks, and anywhere on this side of the hill, it's going to be north of 4.
You got fancier friends than I do.
And I think at 4, right, dual income, and what does dual income want? In a house, in a neighborhood, what do they want?
Well, these ones are suffering because the Hollywood Hills, Benedict Hills, the Beverly Hills Post Office, they're all in the hills.
North of Sunset.
They're all north of Sunset. And we're seeing their new listings from 2022 to 2023 are down 90 to 75 this year. That's a 17% decrease. In escrows, 60 to 49. That's down 18%. Here's 2 stats that kill me. Ready? Solds, 73 last year, 48 this year. That's a 34% decrease in the amount of properties sold. Yet the average sales price is up 24%.
I know. So
and the average sales price, by the way, has gone from 4.5 last year to 5.4 this year.
And how many months of inventory?
6.
Okay, so we're on that border. So like I said, I think it's going to be crazy what we see in Q2. Moving on to number 3 in our 5 best places to find a deal is Encino.
Drive over the hill.
8 months worth of inventory, well into a buyer's market. New listings, Q1 of 2022 was 126. New listings in Q1 of 2023, 154. Sold homes, Q1 2022 in Encino, 107. Q1 2023, 35. 35.
Wow.
So how do we get that number back up for sellers if interest rates are north of 6? It's just, I don't see how it happens. Now, average sales price is up, but I don't think it's worthy of mentioning. Why don't we go to...
That's a lot of new construction there, too.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
separates it
I think
in
Encino's been going through like a renaissance of sorts, particularly because the Valley started having like these big sales. There's a few sales that were north of 20 million that celebrities had purchased, et cetera. And
Sure.
so that I think that's why we're seeing the average price kind of catch up. But I think the inventory story is really more important here.
Right. We're seeing that to be a little overinflated right now, which may present opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. What's number 2?
Well, number 2 is going to be obvious. The best place to get a deal anywhere in this town is in Bel Air.
Oh, yeah, you're moving with
Well-
your auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
The anything from Philly, huh? Anything
Anything
to throw
from
Philly,
Philly.
in. Or your obsession with Will Smith. It's funny those two combined.
I like his performance at the Oscars.
And bad coffee. All three. So number 2, a great place to find a deal right now is Bel Air. And let me explain. Bel Air is a large place. It's not just these $100 million mansions. You can get up in the hills, have beautiful properties in the 5 range, the 4 range.
And the real estate map,
3, not anymore. as
on
much.
the realtor internal map that we use, it's the biggest area.
It's very large. It's very large, widespread. It's all in the hills again.
Biggest area.
We're seeing areas in the hills take
north
the
of
hardest hits,
Sunset.
but I think those will withstand trends. The hills are safe. The hills are beautiful. The hills are green. The hills are... Look at it here. It's purple. Look at it. It's blue.
alive in the sound of
Griswold. Are we going to...
like, what are you...
Love
you're like
that
on the
movie,
Hills ramp.
The vacation movie.
The Hills.
Okay, so Bel Air, and here's
Starring
why.
Zach
Here's another
Goldsmith.
reason. New listings, they're actually up. 70... Are you going to pay attention to the...
I am.
Hey, numbers.
What do you
Hey,
mean?
we're
I
going
did this
over
report.
Numbers,
I did
analytics.
this report. Hey, tell me more.
Is that your... That's not your putter this
Numbers.
time. Okay, so new listings. 72 last year, 82 this year.
Okay, so
they're
up.
up 14%. We got a little change. Why is it a good deal? In escrows, 50 last year, 40 this year.
Okay, so less.
Down 20%. Solds, 57 last year, 30 this year. That's like a
Okay. How much inventory?
47% decrease.
Yeah. How much inventory?
Same amount, 6 months.
No. 9 months.
9 months.
9 months. So deep.
That's a considerable difference.
And I think what's really important as to why we grab these as the better deals, how we rank these, is that we had more listings, but way less sold. So more inventory means we start shifting towards buyer's market, and like
Prices come down, which is what happened in Bel Air. The average sales price went from 9.5 to 7.5. That's a 21% off sale, people.
By the way, I think it's going to be way lower when we report on this in Q2 because the high
Whoa,
end.
Mr. Market not crashing. Now it's going to be way lower.
No, I just think because the high end is getting no. I mean in Bel Air because the high end
Guys
is
in the
getting
market
crushed.
to buy a Bel Air property now.
No, the high end's getting really hurt right now. So I think it's going to seem crazier.
How you doing so well? You make money off of that
I'm not. I'm struggling right now.
of that line of bowling
literally
gear, this
just-
new fashionista line of bowling gear you've got going
drink and golf
Man,
and
is
just
that a bad
try to
shirt?
forget and just kind of wait this thing out. All right,
Is that when
moving
you
on-
make purchases on shirts like that? When you drink a
I'm
ton?
nervous.
Ooh, I like this new bowling line from J. Crew.
moving? J. Crew. I
Men's
stopped wearing that in
Warehouse.
high school. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Men's Warehouse, sorry.
Okay, the number one place to find a deal in Los Angeles right now. I almost feel like saying this is going to immediately remove credibility from
sweat stains,
from
what is
us and this top 5 list. Believe it or not, if you can afford it, is in the city of Beverly Hills.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
I can't believe that I'm saying that, but I mean that relative to our last 14-month cycle. There are 9 months worth of inventory. That is a lot for Beverly Hills. The average sales price is down 14% in a area where the price doesn't drop. It goes up. There were 60 homes sold Q1 of last year, only 25 this year, 58% drop, and new listings stayed about the same. So what that means is those listings that keep being relaunched with new agents without price reductions, those are the ones that you want to go for the kneecaps. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You want to go hard in the paint. And we've said many times before that If you see something on the market for 120 days, 160 days, 180 days, you need to go hard in the paint. I don't care what the agent's saying. Only a few people circling. No, they don't. You got to go hard
in the
You go hard. So
you stankin'. You thanking.
So
your deals are all in the fanciest places.
That's not
in
true.
This town. Well,
Hollywood Hills, Encino,
pretty fancy. Beverly Hills Post Office, pretty fancy. Bel Air,
okay, hold on.
Encino has become super fancy.
Before we wrap
priced
up,
you out. And Beverly Hills, those are the top 5 places to get deals, man.
Before we finish,
I'm moving to Kansas.
Before we finish, I want to give 2 asterisks here. 2 honorable mentions. The Pacific Palisades and Brentwood both have 69 and 63%
Yeah, that's interesting.
of new listings in Q1 2023 year over year versus 2022. That is a lot of
West
new
Side
houses.
life is attractive to people now.
And while they both currently remain in sellers markets, Palisades with 4 months, Brentwood with 3, if interest rates remain where they are, 2 of the most post-Pandy desired neighborhoods could finally, after 14 long years, shift into a buyer's market. So we will report on this again in Q2. Zach hates these episodes, but by the end, he's fired up because he feels like he has something to tell his clients.
I just warmed up. I want to do another half hour. That's funny. Oh, I think all these people who have defected and left our beautiful state to protect their money, which I get, are going to start going back to Cali.
Like that A minor. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of To Live and Buy in Los Angeles. Before Zach says his takeout line, we encourage you to always ask us or write to us what reports on the market you'd like to see or any agent tips that we can give to you guys. We love being generous in that way. Again, thanks for joining us. You can find me at Ben Bellac on Instagram. You can find him at Zach Goldsmith 24.
Thanks for remembering.
And you want to take us out?
Go attack these areas with your clients. We're getting deals.
You're supposed to say
super bien.